Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited today to just share more of an emotional video, more of a feelings video with you guys since my last video was quite heavy. Today we're going to be talking about different ways in which Judaism gives me fulfillment and meaning in my life, just on a personal level. So obviously this is really different for everyone and everybody has their own unique relationship with their faith and with Hashem, but I'm just going to talk today about mine, and hopefully it will serve to inspire some of you. And I would love in the comments below if you would leave me how faith shapes your life and has added, whatever your faith may be, maybe you're not Jewish, how that has given your life more meaning. I do want to preface this though by saying that I think it's important to stress that this is a side effect of being religious, but it's not the reason I am religious. I am religious because I have done a lot of investigating and truth seeking through all different types of paths, spiritual paths, science paths, asking a lot of questions, and I've discerned that this is true to me. This is, and I believe this is the objective truth. Like, I believe that there is one God, that there is one ultimate, infinite energy from which everything else emanated, who created the world, who brought me into being, who loves all of his creations, and gave us the Torah, which is the blueprint of the world, which to help us, to aid us achieve our spiritual purpose, achieve our mission, and that the next world is where we're going to receive the bulk of the eternal reward and bliss that comes from being close to Hashem, being close to God, and following Torah and mitzvot. That's just what I'm prefacing this by saying, that is the reason why I'm a religious Jew, and a side effect of that is that it gives me meaning, but that's not the reason. I think some people look at religion as like a comfort or a solace or just like a way to make yourself feel better, and chas v'shalom, God forbid, that's just not what we practice, but it does come into play as a side effect. So the first way I think that it really helps me a lot is just my trust in God. Honestly, I don't know how I would function if I didn't have the ability to trust and have bitachon that there is someone, a higher power that loves me and that knows what's best for me, even when I don't, infinitely more than I know what's best for myself. I don't know how reliant I would be on like having to learn everything about like self-help and self-development and self-improvement and everything to try to like fix my life constantly, and that would just take such an emotional toll on me if I didn't have the overarching trust in the fact that God knows what's best for me and has a mission uniquely designed for me that I can't affect. Like, my actions one way, my actions the other way. Yes, there's a level of effort that I have to put in, and I do believe, like, obviously we have free will, we believe in free will, but there's also so many things that are decreed for us. For example, we believe that your parnasa, your income for the year, is determined on Rosh Hashanah. And so I got laid off recently from my job, like just last week, and then I got literally laid off from my job in December, and I'm literally every time, thank you Hashem, thank you Hashem, thank you Hashem, dancing. Why? It's not because I'm so righteous and holy that I'm just happy to have literally no income. No, it's because I genuinely believe, because God has proven it to be true time and time again, that one door opens and one door closes and another one opens, and it's all for the good. And I don't know how else I would deal with those just natural life circumstances that are constantly being thrown at us if I didn't have the truth ingrained deeply, deeply into my neshama, into my soul, that everything that happens is ultimately up to Hashem. Everything, whether it's even the small, like, I truly believe that even the smallest, most minute details in our life are lessons, tests, and lessons that we can ultimately derive wisdom from, and that's why we're being tested. Like, literally everything, I think, is like a test, and did we learn from it? Yes or no? So I don't know how people who aren't religious relate to challenges. Like, you can still believe the universe is like testing you without thinking it's God testing you, but I don't know, I'm not sure. For me, that's all very confusing, and it's just like I believe like it's one source that knows us, that loves us, and knows us so well that it has a plan for us. Anyway, so that's one way, and it's very much easier said than done. Obviously there's It's not like every day is happy. It's a misconception that if you're religious, that you're ultimately going to be happy every single day and always trusting. But I think no matter what happens, we in Judaism have an obligation to bless on the good as well as the bad. Like, we have a variety of blessings we say for the good things in life, and you're also supposed to say blessings when you, God forbid, hear someone died. There's blessings on like earthquakes. There's blessings on even bad news. Like, you're supposed to bless God for the good as well as the bad, because we ultimately believe everything comes from one source, and that which is not good revealed to us is just concealed, but it will be revealed in the next world, in the world of truth. I think another way that Judaism provides a ton of meaning in my life, which, wow, I'm so obsessed with this. I learned this over the past holiday, Shavuos. I was reading Mesilas Yesharim. It's called The Path of the Just. Highly cannot recommend enough. This book changing lives. Every ancient book, Torah, just written by the Ramchal, amazing wisdom, and please check this book out. The Path of the Just, Mesilas Yesharim. So this book talks extensively in the introduction about how this world is the world of falsehood, lies, and the next world, everything is flipped and upside down. The people who look like they were on the top in this world are on the bottom in the next world, and the people who are on the bottom in this world are really on the top in the next world, because the only purpose of this world is to connect to Hashem through our actions that the Torah has outlined for us. And by doing that, we will get all the reward for that in the next world. There's no reward, it says, for a mitzvah in this world. It's all in the next world. And so there's a quote, I think it's from Mishlei. It says I'm paraphrasing, but it says there's no wisdom or good deeds like mitzvot that you can do in the grave where you're going. And that inspires me so much to just take advantage of every single opportunity, to the best of my ability, to just seize with alacrity every opportunity that there is to emulate Hashem in an action. So Hashem said it's a mitzvah to light candles for Shabbat, being excited to do that. Hashem says it's a mitzvah to give charity, being excited to give charity, because ultimately what we think is good in this world, Mesilas Yesharim, this book, stresses doesn't bring happiness. And it's duh, right? We all know that money doesn't buy happiness. But where I live in New York City, if I didn't have Torah to prove that to me in a very tangible way, if I didn't have role models who were religious Jews for me to look up to, I don't know how I would ever escape the rat race that just has us all in a chokehold here in New York. And everywhere. Technology just proving to us time and time again, trying to prove to us that beauty makes you happy, money makes you happy, fame makes you happy, how many likes can you get, this and that. It's worthless. It's worthless, and the only good is devekis to Hashem, which means attachment to Hashem, clinging to God, is the ultimate only good, because God is the source of all goodness, right? God created every pleasure in this world for us to enjoy. God created beauty. God created humor. God created food that tastes delicious. God created clothing modest clothing? No, I'm just kidding. But God created sights, music. Everything is an emulation of Hashem's love for us. He loves us more than we love our own children. If He's the source of all good, then connection to that source is the ultimate good. That's the main good. And so it might seem like maybe the ultimate good is getting that promotion at work and then I'll be happy. Maybe the ultimate good is getting married and then I'll be happy. Maybe the ultimate good is moving to that new city and then I'll finally be happy. Even though I still succumb to the tests and falsehood of this world, Torah has been able to illuminate to me that the ultimate good is Hashem. It's clinging to Hashem. So the more actions that I can do, and the less sins or averos that I can do, which a sin doesn't necessarily mean the same thing it does in Christianity. It means something slightly different in Judaism. But so that is how I can ultimately cling to Hashem and experience true goodness, is connection to Hashem. And that's the only thing that matters. I think something we stress a lot in like a balanced, healthy approach, but in this book particularly, it's called Yirat Shamayim. It's called fear of Hashem, fear of God, and it's really an important character trait to develop in Judaism to a healthy level, because fear of God allows you to know that that is the only one that there is to be afraid of, which it might sound like duh, but think about it. If you're afraid of anything else, like losing your job, you're afraid of the medical report, you're afraid of the bully at school, like if you know that God is the source of everything, then you can internalize that the only thing to fear is Hashem, and it kind of mitigates all your other fears. And so it's really brought me a lot of meaning in terms of being able to cope with just fears, worries, anxiety, because I know that like ultimately everything is from one source that cares me and loves about me more than I can even love myself. If you did believe that, I just think, yikes, like that's kind of fear-inducing, because then who knows what that person's gonna think, what that person can do to me. But if you have Hashem in your life, so then you know that that person can only harm you if Hashem decreed that it be so. And Hashem is ultimate goodness and kindness and wouldn't allow someone to harm you unless it wasn't for your ultimate soul's correction. One other way that I want to touch on is being able to relate to other people in a different way. I used to be very my way or the highway type. Like, if it wasn't my way, you know, that's kind of upsetting, and like, why should I listen to you? Like, what good is there in that? And I'm not saying that I'm not like that now at all. Like, I still have remnants of these more negative character traits, and they do come out, but I've been able to work on them because I've been able to internalize the fact that there is so much reward for humbling yourself in front of other people, not getting angry at other people, watching what you say about and to other people, carefully watching your words, carefully watching your actions, knowing that if someone insults you, like in the Gemara, I want to say, I don't know, because I don't study the Gemara, but I think it's something like if someone insults you and you bite your tongue, you don't say anything back, it's infinite reward in Shamayim and this and that. And that's not necessarily why we want to do things, it's just to get reward, but it helps. No, I'm just kidding. But it definitely helps me, because I used to just be like so quick with my tongue. I used to be so like, if you insult me, watch out, because you got the next thing coming, da 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 da. Like, I could go on and on and on. So thank God, because I know that there is consequences to every word that we say. I recognize that every other person is also infinitely loved by Hashem and deserves to be treated with nothing but the utmost care, concern, respect. Everyone is a daughter or son of the King. And it helps you give yourself more self-respect when you think of everyone like that, and it helps you treat others with even more respect. Not that you don't treat others with respect if you're not religious, you definitely do, but it just is like such another standard. Like, you're scrupulous in your treatment of others because Judaism has provided me with actual laws of the day-to-day handlings of your interactions with other people. Emphasis on chesed, on giving back to the community, has really been able to help me lean into my community in ways that I never thought I would, because there's so much importance placed on like being one, merging with your community and being one with them and finding opportunities to give back. And that has really just made me more joyful. I don't know, I guess that's just like for everyone, but the emphasis on community and oneness, camaraderie, and knowing that you can directly add to someone's life, whether it's visiting them when they're sick, giving money to those who need, even helping set up for a Shabbat meal. I'm just thinking of random, you know, like right now I'm leading a choir in my community, and every way that I've taken a step closer towards community, I have felt so much more joy as a person. And you would think like you would feel less joy because you're like giving up, let's say you're giving up your night to go visit someone who needs a visit. Like, you're giving up your time. Maybe there's something else you'd rather be doing. Wouldn't you feel less joy? No. Somehow, no. I think it's because God created us with knowing what makes us happy. And that's why the mitzvot reflect that. And that's why he commanded us to do what he commanded us to do. So thank you so much in conclusion for watching this video. I hope it did inspire you, and this is just some of the ways, skimming the surface. Really, there's infinite ways of how Judaism has fully enriched my life with so much meaning. And if you enjoyed, then like this video, leave a comment about how it has helped your life, your faith, whether it's Jewish or not. And that's it. I'll see you in my next video.